Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at episode 10 of the No More Mr. Nice Guy series, Time Alone. Essentially what we're going to be looking at today is how does time alone help nice guys learn to improve on themselves? This is still part of chapter 3. We're going to take a look at how does this help nice guys time alone. Let's get into it. So there are 6 ways that time alone is beneficial for nice guys. The 6 ways are self-discovery, building self-reliance, setting boundaries, um, embracing solitude, developing hobbies and interests, cultivating self-compassion. We're going to dive a bit deeper into these individually as we go. Just a quick overview of each one. So, self-discovery. So, what alone time does is it provides an opportunity for nice guys to do a bit of introspection, as it says there, self-discovery. Because nice guys often struggle with their own needs or understanding their own needs or their identities. They have to go find it again. And this all stems from pleasing other people. So essentially what's going to happen is being alone will allow them to explore their interests, values, goals without an external influence. Excuse me. Then the second way, which is building self-reliance. So nice guys tend to rely heavily on others for validation and approval. What spending time alone does there is it encourages you to rely on yourself for your own approvals and whatnot. You become essentially you become independent. You have independence, and then you're learning to trust your own judgment and make your own decisions based on your own values and needs. The number 3 is setting boundaries, which is a massive problem in the nice guy syndrome. I also have have had and still do have some difficulties. I am on the journey of fixing these, of learning to do this, setting boundaries, and keeping to these boundaries. Not just letting people get over the boundaries. So setting boundaries, alone time creates a space for nice guys to establish and reinforce boundaries with themselves. They can practice saying no without feeling guilty or prioritizing others. They will sorry. They will prioritize themselves without having to worry or feel guilty, worry about disappointing anyone, which would help with you setting boundaries. The next one is embracing solitude. Essentially, embracing solitude means what that does is nice guys fear alone time or fear being alone because it can trigger feelings of loneliness you or when you're alone you have your inadequacies come up. Uh, However, learning to embrace yourself in the solitude can be empowering. It allows you to enjoy your own company, recharge your own energy, and find peace and contentment within yourself and to be with yourself. Another one that alone time does, or it benefits, is developing hobbies and interests. So essentially, alone time provides an opportunity for you to explore things that you enjoy and bring you fulfillment. Because remember, nice guys always do what others want, and then they've lost themselves in this process. So you're not quite sure what exactly it is you want, or what exactly do you enjoy for yourself. So you develop hobbies and interests, and you can go explore them in your alone time without having to have any pressure meeting others' expectations, or you start fostering a sense of passion and purpose in life. And then the last one, which is cultivating self-compassion. Again, this is spending time alone helps nice guys practice their self-compassion. So this will go back or ties back into the embracing solitude, in my opinion. So nice guys will practice their self-compassion and self-care. Nice guys are very critical about themselves, very negative about themselves. So, practicing some compassion or kindness towards yourself with a bit of self-care can be a nurturing way to start treating yourself with some empathy or understanding, which then extend from there would extend to others in a genuine way, and not just the nice guy syndrome, people pleasing way, or the COVID contracts, which we'll get into later in another video. Alright, so let's take a look at the first one. What are ways you can do it? What are some benefits, things you can do? So the first one is self-discovery. Essentially, self-discovery, there are a few subtopics or things you can do. So nice guys struggle with understanding their own needs, desires, even their identities, because they are so accustomed to putting other people first, what other people want, and getting the external validation from them. So here are ways and things you can do to help you overcome the approval seeking behaviors. So first thing you can do in the self-discovery category is introspection. So essentially, time alone gives you space to reflect on your thoughts, emotions, your experiences without any external distractions. So I would say while you're doing these alone times, don't bring a phone, don't bring any distracting devices, just yourself. You can bring a journal or paper and a pen, which I'll say at the end of it. I'll give you, there's an activity you can do that will help to speed this up. So you need to have experiences without any other distractions around you, and then you can start to explore questions about yourself. Ask yourself certain questions like, for example, what do I truly want? Or what brings me joy and fulfillment? You can ask yourself these questions, and obviously the first time you ask it, you're not going to get a clear answer. You're going to have to keep asking yourself, keep exploring these things, and then we'll eventually get there. Another one is exploration of interests. So without outside influence or other people's expectations of you, you can freely explore things that you are interested in or are passionate about. And you might discover some new hobbies, activities, or some things that resonate with you, which this will then in turn help you to connect with your authentic self, which is the end goal of this channel. Of what we're trying to do is to become our authentic selves, become who we really are. Excuse me. Identification of values. Identification of values. So another thing that alone time allows you is to sit and think or ponder your values and beliefs and start to clarify them, so you can contemplate what matters most to you in your life, whether it's relationships, your career aspirations, your self-help or personal growth, any other aspects of your life. You can align them and then find the actions that go with it. The next one is identification of needs. This is also, again, nice guys don't know what is their needs. Again, myself included, I'm on this journey to discover myself and my needs and becoming my authentic self. So, identification of needs. You can start to find or see your own needs and desires. So they can oh, sorry, I bumped the camera. Desires. So they can differentiate between what you generally want and what you believe others expect from you. So when you sit by yourself and you start analyzing or pondering on these, you start prioritizing your own self-care and self-fulfillment. You are going to start discovering your needs instead of the needs that society or your friends or anyone that you're around, even your partner, has put on you, or the expectation of you. And then the last one for self-discovery would be development of self-awareness. Alone time fosters self-awareness. So essentially what it does is it helps nice guys to recognize their patterns of behaviors. In other words, what triggers them, what are their underlying emotions. So this heightened awareness allows them to make intentional choices and to navigate the relationships more authentically, because you're all aware of your behaviors, your triggers, and your emotions. You're more in control of that. So now you can choose. You're not led by your nose by the emotions or what other people think or say or do or with expectations of you. You can, or you have the choice now to choose how you're going to navigate it. This comes from developing self-awareness. And that's it for self-discovery. So the next one we're going to go a bit fast through these because there's quite a lot of information at the moment. So you can always pause and come back and re-look at it. So the next part is building self-reliance. Essentially, what does that mean? or how does this help? Nice guys will struggle with self-reliance because they have learned to put other people's needs and look for external validation for their self-worth. So what essentially spending time alone provides them with an opportunity to develop independence and trust in their own abilities. Um, and we'll get into how there's here it is how it helps them do this. One key fact for me that helped me realize this or get some self-reliance is as a nice guy, I would say majority of the nice guys are very highly dependent on their mothers, again, myself included. And moving to a foreign country alone, not knowing anyone, and having to do everything for yourself, whether that is documentation, shopping, figuring out how to get to places, there is no one to fall back on. And I think that is a very positive experience that can boost this one by 100%. Like, this makes it a lot quicker to realize certain things when there's no more where you can just ask your mom to do it, call your mom up, hey, can you quickly do this for me? It's not so much. I still do rely on my mom for certain things. However, you're building self-reliance. This one will definitely help you. Or even if you just don't even go to a foreign country, if you just move out of the house, if you're in the house, if you're old enough, obviously, and you can support yourself, just moving out of the house, stop relying on yourself, stop asking your parents for everything. Um, Try doing it yourself. So let's look at some other ways. So here's decision making. Decision making also comes with alone time, because nice guys will then have the time or the ability to make decisions without an outside influence, or the even bigger part, which is, again, I struggle with this, or I'm on the journey of fixing this, is the pressure of making the decision with others, and then you're always thinking to yourself, is it the right choice? Is that what they want? So when you're alone and you make decisions, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. It's just, okay, I want this, go for it. It's a lot freeing, kind of being able to do that. So you can be, whether it's deciding to do what to do in your free time, sorry, or it can be something like your career choices, your personal goals. You can start to practice trusting yourself, your judgment, and what you think, or your instincts of what you want to do. Another thing that building self-reliance helps with is problem solving skills. So facing challenges and solving problems independently, keyword here, independently, strengthens nice guys' problem solving skills, right? Independently. Again, you're not having someone hold your hand to make the decisions or try solve your problems or anything like that. I discovered this when I had to do my visa in the foreign country I am in, Thailand, and there was no help in a sense of uh, anyone that I would know that speaks English, that I'm friends with, that could explain to me what it is I need to do. I had to kind of figure that out. Obviously, there were some people around you can speak to and whatnot, um, but that is very scary at first, especially as a nice guy, walking up to people and just kind of asking them for help. So yeah, it can be a bit daunting, but that experience helped me with my problem solving skills immensely. And obviously, the more you do these things, the more confident you get, and the easier it gets to do this. Um, so you learn to rely on your own resourcefulness, your own creativity to overcome the obstacles. And as I said, it starts boosting your confidence, and you start realizing you can handle life's difficulties by yourself. The next one is emotional independence. Yeah. So spending time alone encourages nice guys to regulate their emotions and self-soothe without relying on external validation or support. Self-soothe on relying on external. Okay. So you will develop a resilience and a coping mechanism that helps you to navigate the emotional ups and downs easier. When you start doing that, you start developing your own regulation of emotions, which will again is great because you're now not dependent on other people's emotions to regulate your emotions. So that's quite good. The next one is setting boundaries. Well, so when you're building your self-reliance or when you're becoming self-reliant, uh, you need to you will start to set and enforce boundaries in your relationships or anything in your life. You learn to prioritize your own needs, and you'll start to assert them assertively without being the weak kind of, oh, is it okay, seeking approval. You will not feel guilty or you will not seek approval from others when asserting your needs. The next one is personal growth. So when you start taking ownership, which essentially is self-reliance, is taking ownership of your life and your decisions and the outcomes of your decisions, the results, you essentially will be taking ownership of your life. So it's no longer in other people's hands and you can no longer blame them. You are responsible for your decisions and the consequences of them. So you'll experience a personal development or a personal growth in yourself. You'll become more self-aware. You'll become more confident, empowered. You will pursue goals. You will have determination. You will build resilience. It will be much better if you can. Your personal growth would build up a lot. Especially you'll start taking charge of your own life and your direction, and take responsibility for your actions and choices. Autonomy and independence. Spending time alone creates a sense of autonomy and independence. You will start to learn to enjoy your own company. You will start to enjoy pursuing your own interests, and you'll find joy or fulfillment without having to seek validation or approval from others, you become independent from this approval seeking behaviors. So overall, you're building self-reliance through time alone, and this is essential for nice guys to out of the break out of the codependent patterns. You start creating a stronger self, and you'll start leading a more fulfilled life, and become more authentic to yourself, which is massive. Again, that is the end goal, to be authentic and get out of life what you really want. So the next one is setting boundaries. So alone time also helps with this. So nice guys obviously struggle with setting boundaries because they fear conflict or rejection, the disappointment or disappointing others. So spending time by themselves gives them the space, the clarity to start pondering or recognizing their own needs and start to find or assert their barriers more effectively. So here's some more examples. So your self-reflection. Alone times allows you to reflect on your relationships and start identifying areas where your boundaries have been crossed, whether you know it or not. You can see where they're being compromised. You can start exploring your values and start getting deeper understanding of what is important to you. And you start to clarify your needs. You can then start to prioritize your needs without the influence of others. You start to learn to distinguish between someone else's desires and expectations and your desires and expectations, which will start to make you more assertive, more confident, and you'll be able to put your boundaries or assert your boundaries out there. You'll start to practice saying no, in a sense. So you'll nice guys are generally yes men, right? They say yes to everything. You'll start to say no to things that you don't not interested in, you don't want to do. It gives you the opportunity also when you're alone to start practicing saying no and not feeling guilty or that you have to please others. And then you can start setting your boundaries, and learning to prioritize your needs and well-being. Assertive skills. So when you start spending time alone with yourself and thinking of these things, you start getting all of the previous things we said, plus when you start setting your boundaries, you start getting assertive skills. Assertive skills which essentially allows you to develop communication strategies for expressing your boundaries effectively, clearly, in a respectful way. You can communicate your needs assertively and respectfully without going back to the nice guy's passive aggressive or aggressive behavior you can just clearly say it out, straight, assertively, clear cut communication without feeling guilty or um, fearful of disappointing the other person. And then there is the boundary enforcement. So boundary enforcement is when you set a boundary and then you enforce it when the need comes for it. So you can start to go and reinforce the boundaries and take actions when they are violated. And in the alone time, you can reflect on the past experience, the past boundaries that have been broken, and start finding appropriate consequences. Things of like, okay, this I can let slide. This is a deal breaker. If this point is passed, I'm out, gone, or cutting that person off. You essentially can decide the consequences for the boundary violations, which will empower you to start protecting yourself, physically, emotionally. You'll start being more effective in your boundaries, which will then go lead into this next one, which is increased self-respect. Most nice guys, or nice guys, I'm just gonna say, I would say just nice guys in general have very low self-respect. You can keep a promise to everyone but yourself as a nice guy. So by setting and enforcing boundaries, you start to demonstrate self-respect and self-worth to yourself, and this will start communicating to other people. You know, will carry over to other people that you have needs, or that your needs are valid and deserving of respect. It will start fostering healthier and more authentic relationships based on mutual understanding and respect. You start respecting yourself, and when you start respecting yourself and showing people you have boundaries and you are self-respect, they will start treating you and start respecting you the more, or the way that you respect yourself. So spending time alone facilitates the process of setting boundaries for nice guys by providing self-reflection, clarifying their needs. They can practice their assertiveness, start pondering or reinforcing their boundaries when necessary. This can help them to, this can help nice guys to have healthier relationships and healthier well-being in themselves. So let's take a look at the next one, which is embracing the solitude, which I think is a massive problem in today's society. From my observation of people, I'm quite fine. I like my solitude. I like being alone. Um, I do have a slight fear of going to restaurants by myself. I wouldn't say a slight fear. It is uncomfortable, but that is a great indicator of where I'm at. So I need to embrace the solitude. So nice guys will fear being alone because it can trigger feelings of loneliness, or it can bring up your inadequacies, or abandonment thoughts. But how learning to embrace the solitude can also be empowering and transformative. in the sense of self-discovery. So again, with the self-discovery, it gives you an opportunity for self-reflection and introspection. So you can start looking at yourself. So when, for example, a bit of the topic, or not, it's on the topic. Um, if you go to a restaurant and you're a nice guy like me, and you're uncomfortable just sitting by yourself, why? Why are you uncomfortable? You can start to look at or reflect on it. Why are you uncomfortable sitting by yourself? For instance, the thoughts that go through my head is, people are thinking I'm a loser because I'm sitting here alone, or oh, that person's gonna judge me because I'm sitting at this table alone. Sort of those along those kinds of lines. So it takes a while to get used to it. Now I'm fine in a sense. I still do have a slight hiccup, but I actually quite like it. It does challenge you. So let's go back to what I was talking about before. So self-reflection and introspection. You can start to explore your thoughts, your emotions, without the distraction of others. Excuse me. So this self-discovery allows you to develop a deeper understanding of yourself and um, your inner workings or your inner world. Self-acceptance is the next one. So when you start embrace the solitude, this starts to tell yourself or encourage yourself to accept yourself fully. It includes your weaknesses, your strengths, your vulnerabilities. You start to learn to appreciate your own company and your own value that you hold. And you don't need the validation or approval of others. This kind of cements it in. The next one is mindfulness practice. Again, so time alone can give you the chance to practice your mindfulness and presence. So you can engage in activities such as meditation, journaling, or simply being in nature. This starts to cultivate or create a greater sense of awareness or connection with present moment. The next is creativity and inspiration. This one I do find is very true. When you are alone, it can, or if you start embracing your solitude, you can get sparks of creativity or inspiration. And then you have the freedom to explore the interests or pursue the whatever's inspiring you, whatever's engaging in you at that moment, whatever ignites your imagination without worrying about the validation or the external expectations of people. Self-compassion, we covered again before, but we'll cover it here again. So you can use this time to nurture yourself emotionally, physically, and spiritually. You can start practicing kindness towards yourself, which would then, so essentially, as I said before, treat yourself as you would treat your friends. You they did something wrong, you wouldn't just shout at them. You would, presumably, you wouldn't just shout at them. You would say it's no problem. You'd fix it. Treat them with respect, which you can do for yourself. And then the next one is inner strength and resilience. So by embracing the solitude, you develop a inner strength and a resilience of sorts. Move a bit here. So you will start to learn to rely on yourself for your needs, for your comfort, for your validation, for the support. You start to get a sense of self-sufficiency and independence, which enables you again to take responsibility and to navigate your life and the challenges therein a lot easier. It won't always be smooth sailing, but a lot easier. So all of these will promote, embracing the solitude will foster your self-discovery, your self-acceptance, mindfulness, which is a meditation, or being having gratitude, your creativity, self-compassion, and inner strength. And you still start to find fulfillment in yourself, in your own company, which will then create a sense of peace, or a deeper sense of authenticity in your life. That's it for embracing solitude. Let's take a look at the next one, which is developing hobbies and interests. So time alone gives you the opportunity to develop hobbies and interests, which is also a powerful way for nice guys to reconnect with themselves and find fulfillment outside of seeking validation from others. So let's go a bit more deeper into it. So personal exploration. Spending time alone for recovering nice guys with the space to explore activities that they generally have an interest in. They can try different hobbies, they can try sports, arts, without the pressure of pleasing others or having to meet other people's expectations. This exploration is that it's just an exploration which allows them to reconnect with their authentic selves and start to discover what makes them happy, what do they enjoy. And the next one is creative expression. So when you engage in hobbies and the interests, this fosters a creative outlet for nice guys to express themselves freely. Whether it's through painting, writing, music, gardening, they can start to channel their emotions, their thoughts, ideas into something tangible, which then gives them a sense of accomplishment or self-expression. The next one that it has, or it helps with, is stress relief. Right? If you have hobbies and interests, this helps you to release some stress, de-stress yourself, just get rid of all the negative buildup that you've been having. It provides a very healthy way for you to unwind You start immersing yourself in activities that you enjoy, which essentially gives you kind of an escape from the pressure of daily life. You gotta watch it that it doesn't become an escape tactic from your life. That's not the point of it. But you find something that relaxes your mind, that recharges your energy. So you only got so much energy in a day. And what you choose to spend your energy on can influence your life. And then obviously you get in a sense of achievement when you like set goals and make progress in your hobbies or the interests that you do. You start getting achievements, or you become competent. You can start challenging yourselves to learn new skills, overcome obstacles, achieve milestones. All of this will boost your self-confidence and, well, the nice guy's self-confidence and their self-worth in the process. The next one is social connection. So what hobbies or interests can do is they can form or help facilitate social connections for recovering nice guys. You can start to join clubs. If you are into racing cars, you can join. There's car clubs you can join, or exotic cars. There's car clubs you can join. If you're looking for uh, classes on body language, for example, there online are communities and classes that you can join that have the community, which then starts to give you the social connection. There's online communities, there's communities in person, and these can be all related to your hobbies or your interests, so you have something to relate with the other people with, and they're all like-minded people, so you can start to build proper meaningful connections with them just solely based on your interests that are the common link. And the next one is your personal growth. So when your hobbies and your interests can go towards your personal growth or development, nice guys can, with the hobbies or interests, learn valuable life skills. They can expand their knowledge, gain a new perspective through their hobbies, look at things in a different way. They're just you kind of widening your brain or what you pick up, widening your horizons. And then time for self-care. So when you are doing your hobbies or pursuing your hobbies and interests, a form of self-care, it is a form of self-care for nice guys. We did it in a previous video. It allows you to prioritize your own well-being or happiness. You dedicated time and energy to activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. This is taking good care of yourself. This will help. This does help to. Well, the hobbies and interests help to empower the process of recovery as a nice guy, because it promotes your personal exploration, your creative expressions, um, your stress relief. It relieves stress. You start getting a sense of achievements. You get social connections, personal growth, and by investing in these activities, you start bringing in joy and fulfillment into your life. which then can foster a deeper sense of self-awareness, confidence, and you become more authentic in your lives. Let's look at the next one. So, cultivating self-compassion. This is essential for nice guys as it helps break them out of the self-criticism, and they kind of develop a kinder, more nurturing relationship with themselves, um, more respectful, more positive mindset about yourself. So you start becoming aware of your inner critic. When you start spending time alone, you can ponder on your thoughts. You start to become more aware of your inner critic, and that is the voice that often judges you, criticizes you, or undermines your worth. So when you do the self-reflection and the mindful practices, you can start to recognize when your inner critic comes out, and how you can start looking at how it impacts your thoughts or your emotions. Another thing you can do is practice self-acceptance. So when you cultivate compassion, you need to be able to practice self-acceptance, acknowledging and embracing oneself. So that essentially means all your mistakes, all your perceived flaws, everything you will accept. And once you start to accept all of it without judgment or your self condemnation, you start to understand that you are worthy of love or acceptance just as you are. And which leads to the next one, which is validation of emotions. So when you spend time alone, it kind of provides a safe space for recovering nice guys to validate their emotions without judgment. So instead of what essentially the nice guys they do is they suppress or deny their feelings, with the time spending time alone or validation of emotions, you can acknowledge your feelings with compassion, curiosity. You can start to reflect on your feelings, and you start to realize that all your emotions are valid and deserving of acceptance. Kindness to oneself. This is, again, you got to practice this, being kind to yourself both in thought and in actions. So you can offer yourself words of encouragement, talk nicely to yourself, especially during times of struggle or difficulty. Instead of blaming yourself, instead of getting upset and calling yourself useless, encourage yourself, motivate yourself. Oh, I won't say motivate, but encourage yourself, boost yourself up. Um, this will eventually this will start foster a sense of inner warmth and acceptance. Start to accept yourself as you are. Sorry, something bit me. Mindful self-care. So recovering nice guys engage in mindful self-care practices that promote their physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being when they spend time alone, whether it's through meditation, relaxation techniques, self-care rituals. You can or they can prioritize their own needs and recharge their energy reserves. And the next one is forgiveness and letting go, which is a massive one. Forgiveness and letting go. Learning to forgive yourself for your perceived flaws or mistakes or whatever, and just letting it go is pretty good for you. It's pretty difficult, I would say. So you will start to practice forgiveness and letting go of your blame or resentment. You can start acknowledging past mistakes, your shortcomings with compassion. You can, recognize that people are human and they are deserving of forgiveness. If someone cuts you off or pulls in front of you without using the indicator, instead of going full road rage and swearing at them, just forgive them for it. Let it go. Let them go on with their day, because all you're doing if you get angry and upset about that is you're wasting your own energy and you're fostering a negative mindset. Easier said than done. I do understand that. So when you start letting go of the burden of self judgment, you can also free yourself to grow and thrive. And through that, you start to connect with humanity. You start spending a time. Spending time alone gives you an opportunity to connect with your humanity inside. You can go through your common shared experiences of struggle, your imperfections, your vulnerability. This all unites everyone. Everyone has imperfections, everyone has struggles, everyone has shared experiences. And then once you do this, you start to recognize that you are not alone in your challenges and that everyone deserves to be treated properly, including yourself, because everyone is messed up. Everyone has got problems. There is no perfect. Everyone's got something wrong. So this essentially will promote self-acceptance. You'll start to validate your emotions. You'll start to show kindness to yourself. You'll start to forgive yourself. You'll start to connect with your humanity again. And you'll start being passionate within the relationships or with yourself. And you can start to heal your past wounds, build resilience, and cultivate the deeper sense of the deeper sense of worth or inner peace. Let's look at the next one. So this is an activity you can do that will help you in a way when spending time alone. This will help to promote your self-discovery, self-compassion, and your personal growth, which is called a reflection walk. Essentially, you're going to choose somewhere outdoors that is peaceful. Doesn't really have distractions. It could be a park, a nature trail, can be on the beach or any serene environment. And then you would basically go alone, anywhere where you feel comfortable being alone with your thoughts. And you just choose somewhere. That is the first step. Then set an intention. So before you begin the walk, take a moment, just think, and set the intention for your walk, for your time alone, sorry. So you could basically do a more specific aspect of yourself. So you would like to explore a question, or a question you'd like to ponder. Like, sorry, a stupid example comes to mind. Why do I drink coffee? Right? So you can go with that. That is your question. You ponder it in your walk. Or you can just decide, okay, I just want to connect with my inner thoughts and feelings and see what comes up while doing the walk. Then as you do your walk, engage your senses. So engage your senses fully. Notice the sights, look at or listen to the sounds, smell, and all the sensory sensations around you. Pay attention to the beauty of the nature. Um, feel the ground beneath your feet. How is your breathing? Or listen to your breathing. Allow yourself to fully immerse in the present moment. You want to be present. You can also then practice mindfulness. And the way you can do this is by bringing your awareness to your thoughts and emotions without judgment. So again, we have the question we're pondering, or whatever it is you're doing. So, ponder in there your thoughts, your emotions, without judgment. Don't judge yourself for having these thoughts, whether bad, good, whatever. Just let them be. And notice, take note, any thoughts are reoccurring, or do you have a pattern of thinking or habits? Have habitual reactions that arise. Allow yourself to observe them with curiosity and compassion. No, not judgment and condemnation. Reflect on your feelings. Take breaks during your walk and pause and reflect on your feelings. Ask yourself how you're feeling emotionally and physically. Notice any areas of tension, discomfort, or ease in your body. And then allow yourself to acknowledge and validate your feeling without judgment. So none of this is to be judged. All of this is just to be. It's just to be. You don't judge yourself on what you think you feel or anything like that. Notice areas of tension, discomfort, or ease in your body. I would also say in your mind, you're feeling emotionally. Are you tense? Are you anxious? Are you what is it you're feeling? Without judgment. And the next step is journaling pause. So you can bring along your journal or a notebook, and you can write down any insights or reflections or observations that arise during the walk. And you can take pauses, you sit quietly and write about your experience, thoughts, feelings. Allow yourself to express yourself freely and, keyword here, authentically. Again, this is not something you need to give to anyone to read. This is for yourself. So you can write what you want. Be honest. Express yourself freely and authentically. Be authentic. And the next step is to practice self-compassion. So while you're doing your walk, you can kind of tie it back into the affirmations. You can give yourself words of kindness or encouragement, support. You can keep on remind yourself that you are worthy of the love and acceptance just as you are. Treat yourself the same as you would treat a friend or a dear friend, with that compassion. And then the next one is set intentions for your actions. So before you finish walking or conclude your walk, take a moment to set intentions for how you will integrate any of the insights or reflections into your daily life. Consider what actions can you take to nurture your well-being, honor your needs, or cultivate self-compassion moving forward. And then start looking at like what actions can I take to build this up. Another thing you should do is to once you start to finish or coming to the end of your walk, start thinking about and expressing gratitude. And take a few moments to express gratitude for the opportunities to spend time alone or to connect with yourself. Thank yourself for showing up with openness and curiosity. Look back on moments of the beauty, the insight, or clarity you experienced during your walk. And the next part is obviously commit to regular self-reflection. Make a commitment to incorporate this into your walks, or make it into your routine. Schedule a time alone where you can walk in nature and keep on doing the reflection walk. This will also practice to nurture your relationship with yourself and foster personal growth. This is designed to help the nice guys or the recovering nice guys to spend meaningful time alone in nature, to reconnect with themselves and to cultivate self-awareness, self-compassion, and personal growth. This is just how do you say? So not that you're not just spending time alone and not doing the actual work. This will just give you a roadmap on how to do a part of it. You can incorporate it in any way you want. It doesn't have to be a walk. You can sit in the park or sit wherever and just meditate on these. But a walk is good, and walk is nice. It clears your mind. Yeah. Well, that was the activity for this one. Sorry, this one's a bit long, but that's it for this video. Again, like it, comment, let me know what are some more activities you think you could do. Do you have trouble spending time alone? Let me know. What's your thoughts? Again, criticisms welcome. Constructive criticisms welcome. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.